the crack?
What's the craic?
Tom and Gerry back at yous. Coming down your ear holes.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It sounded a little rappy.
It does, yeah.
Indeed, a little rapey.
We're not that fucking cool. We're not that cool, Gerry.
Coming straight out of Vauxhall.
I'll have you know this isn't a British car. It's an
Beg your
Opel.
pardon, straight out of an Opel.
Yeah.
Tom, I gotta ask you, why is it Opel and Vauxhall when they're clearly the same car?
Sure. It's like Bulmers and Magners, Gerry. Never the twain will meet, as you would say yourself.
Question not answered, but point taken.
There you go. Get back in your fucking box, McBride. Don't be asking them questions.
In actual fact, you've just posed me another thing that I don't understand.
Magners and Bulmers.
I
kind of know the story behind Magners and Bulmers.
Is it worth burning our podcast time for?
Maybe. Given the fact that I've just touched off the front of an €80,000 fucking Land Rover.
Always podcast responsibly, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, honest to God.
We're back here in the Tom and Gerry mobile podcast studio. We're actually on the way home from a gig.
Yeah. How was your gig, Gerry?
It's alright. How was yours, Tom?
It was alright.
Yeah. That's the fucking rock and roll lifestyle that you get when you... I swear to God. Mothers don't let your sons grow up to be comedians. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah. I suppose most people coming home from any kind of work, it is.
It's like coming out of a day's work, isn't it?
It is. I mean, but there's not a lot of relative things. You can't go, oh my God, Sharon in accounts. All you can really say is, there was this cunt with a big fucking head in him sitting up front and he wouldn't laugh at a single thing, and then you realise he's French.
There was this doll at the back and she wouldn't shut her fucking mouth.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so, comedy. Loads of fun. Exactly as much fun as it looks. No, it's good. It's good. We like it. But we also like podcasting, which is why we do this.
I do. I like podcasting anyway. But this is actually, to be honest with you, I was on stage and twice during my set, I actually thought about... I actually thought, fuck it. You know what? I wish we were podcasting right now. Yeah. Do you reckon we get paid for podcasting?
No, I wish podcasting paid money. But it might, you never know.
You never know.
Like this time next year, I'd be like, this podcast is brought to you by Squarespace.
Say, that'd be fancy. I'll take, I don't care. Windows, doors. Yeah.
It's but you're very welcome. Long-time fans will know the gist of what we do at the show here now. So far, we talk shite.
Yeah.
It's either on your wavelength or it's not, but we like it. We've added a few new segments, but we will kick off as always, Tom, with our perennial favourite, giving out yards.
It's one that stays with us, Gerry, isn't it?
It's one that stays with us. I'll field this one, Tom. How about that?
Yeah.
You good with that?
Yeah. Well, you have. Yeah, you've got a bit on.
We are doing also some ad hoc navigation around Dublin.
Yeah.
City
apologies
Centre.
if there's weird kind of. So what? We quite literally are. We're after going back up a fucking road here, Jared. That two fuckers like us. See, I wish. They keep on changing the fucking goalposts on us. One day it's a fucking you can turn left, the next you can't turn.
I remember.
Will we turn right here, Gerry?
We can turn right here, Tom, and shouldn't need. But I remember.
Can we go down that one?
I don't think so. No.
No. Okay. All right. We'll follow down this street.
So, like I say, it's a real. If you can guess where we are, you win a prize, I suppose.
Yeah. Why? Well, drop. You're really good at clues and shit. Because I'll just blurt it out straight away. See, can you give a really good clue as to the street we're on?
We're on Dame Street.
We're on Georgia Street.
Or George is coming on to Dame.
Yeah.
I got I got no time for this bullshit.
Oh, you're such a jerk, Gerry, when you want to.
But anyway, yeah, we're gonna plow straight on with giving out yards, Tom. What do you think?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
I'll feel
you
this
do
one
it.
here.
You
I'm gonna give out yards, Tom. I'm gonna give out. As normal, I find myself giving out about things that nobody ever really gives out about, and everybody's like, "What's your fucking problem?"
You are a cranky fucker, though. That's the thing. Like, I mean,
am I cranky or am I just ahead of the curve?
There's a lot to be said for. Yeah. I mean, there's an argument both sides of the fence that you could just be a fucking lunatic.
Yeah. What I'm going to give out about tonight, Tom, is wee dogs.
Wee dogs.
Wee dogs. Wee
So,
dogs.
like,
not even necessarily.
How small do they have to be before you get pissed off?
I reckon, like, Jack Russell is pushing it. Jack Russell is borderline.
But don't they have a kind of a scampy old look about him, Jack Russell? Like, they look like
Jack Russell. Okay,
they could bite a rat.
A Jack Russell is fine. A Jack Russell exactly is a Jack Russell is a ratter.
Yeah.
It's a job dog.
Yeah. Okay.
You know.
So what you're talking is like Lahasha abscess.
I'm talking about Maltipoos, Tom.
Oh, what the fuck is a Maltipoo?
A Maltipoo is a Maltese Terrier and a Poodle cross.
A Maltese actually a breed of terrier.
Fuck, I don't know, Tom. It's a little cunt of a dog.
Look where this... Speaking of cunts, look where... I know this makes great podcasting, but to say that fella just pulled up in the most fucking cunty's place.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm wrong.
He strikes me as the kind of guy that owns a wee dog.
He would definitely have a wee dog.
I mean,
but he has a jacket for him and everything.
It's the damnedest thing, Tom. You know, man's best friend is a dog. And a dog is a lovely thing.
Mm-hmm.
We've always had dogs.
Yeah.
At home. And, like, the smallest dog we ever had was a Jack Russell. And he was just about alright.
We had a wiry-haired one at one stage. He was a fucking mad bastard for eating rats.
I reckon anything smaller than that, it's not a dog. It's a fucking poor man's cat. It's this kind of thing. And people say, oh, they're lovely company. Yeah, to you. A small dog has loyalty to like one, maybe two people.
That's true. They're giant fucking assholes a lot of the time.
You take
snappy little fucking angry
You take
sods.
a little dog out of the house and he's a snappy, yippy, cantankerous, knock your child down little bastard.
And I don't know where to get the fucking... Like, you've met my uncle. You know he's quite of a, I suppose, a manly man.
He would indeed be a character.
He has a dog. It is the most ferocious dog I've ever seen in my life. It's a Rhodesian Ridgeback.
And what does it look like, Tom?
It's kind of tight-haired like a boxer, but it has a kind of a more of a Great Dane's face. But it's as big as a Great Dane, and the reason why it's called a Ridgeback is because all the hair down its spine grows in the opposite direction to the rest of his body.
So it's like real...
They've been bred for South African and, well, Rhodesia, which is now Zimbabwe. So Zimbabwean farms to fucking keep away lions. I swear to God, this dog has an extra set of knuckles. He can climb rocks. I don't know what the fuck they bred him with. Maybe a lion.
A man?
It's the most... But you know what? Yes, he could break your back. No problem. But you know what? He's the happiest dog. All he wants is an old rub. There's no asshole fucking nature out of him like
there's
those little Pomeranians.
Oh, I didn't get my little thing of Caesar today.
The last dog, the only dog in 10 years that has ever fucking bitten me was a fucking Pomeranian.
A little yippy little...
Bit me on the fucking nose, the cunting thing did.
That's what it is. I mean, like I'm out all day with the kid, taking him for walks and shit like this, okay? Yeah. And there's dogs that I'll let him pet.
Yeah.
And there's dogs that I won't. And these big sort of Siberian huskies with the white eyes that look like White Walker dogs.
Yeah.
I'll let my kid go over and pat that dog, and the dog like is all kind of snuffling and all very friendly and all that. And then there's like this yippy little fucking God knows what, tiny little Chihuahua looking dog.
Jesus.
And I'm like, no, child, do not go near that dog. That dog will take a knuckle off your hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know?
That's the thing. They won't fuck you up like the capability of a big dog would do. They just fucking wreck your day. Like 3 stitches in between your fingers, you know that little web bit.
Yeah, they'll just give you like a nip. You'd feel bad going to the doctor about it. Yeah. Although you might want to get like a tetanus booster. How's your tetanus these days, Tom?
Actually, I need to get it topped up.
And me too.
Yeah, I got... How many times have you been hit with tetanus? How many years do you get out of it?
You get 10 years out of it, and I'd say I'm coming dry now.
I've had 2.
And you should be alright.
I'd say...
Well, no, given the amount...
34.
Yeah, given the amount...
Yeah, no, I did.
You probably need it more than most people.
I could probably take a shot, alright, yeah.
It probably, like, for a 10-year tetanus booster, probably only do you about 6 tops.
I once got it off a barbed wire, and another one got it off kind of a gate joke to keep in peaks.
Oh, you actually got flat-out tetanus?
Oh, I got it, yeah.
I'd say that sucks.
Man, I got it, I sliced the fucking thin side of your hand, we'll say.
Okay.
Down the side of your baby finger. And thought nothing of it, worked through the day. And woke up the next morning. I felt, the woeful hangover.
Yes.
That's what it was
vividly.
when I was 14. The woeful fucking hangover. Basically, and this fucking line on my hand. Basically, the cut, the split. It was only as thin as a fucking slice. It had turned green.
Ah!
Yeah. And how they knew it was tetanus. This is the telltale sign that it was tetanus. Up the inside of my arm, one of my veins, just one vein right up the middle of the underside of my arm, had turned bright red.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So the old man took one look and he went, yeah, that's fucking tetanus.
Alright, that's tetanus, right?
And off we went to the fucking doctor for a jab in the arse with fucking... He says, that'll top you up now for a few years. Back to work with you.
Cut yourself all you want.
Cut away to fuck.
So anyway, wee dogs, right?
Yeah.
I just find they've got the proper. You've heard of short man syndrome and such like.
Yeah. Oh, that's exactly it. Small dog
knows,
syndrome. Yeah.
Fuck knows I'm a candidate for myself. I'm topping out of the.
Yeah. I'm a sour cunt and I'm a short arse.
5'9"-ish, 5'8", 5'9".
I'm 5'8", I'd say, on a good day, Jerry. I'd say.
5'8".
I've got my boots on. I'm probably 5'9" in my boots.
5'8" with a stretch. Like, and I get a bit of it, but like small dogs are like, really, like they'll start on you for no good fucking reason.
Did I ever tell you about the time I almost got fucking started on by a squirrel? I swear on my life.
But a squirrel,
It's a small fucking dog. It's a squirrel.
Yeah, but a squirrel is a big rat.
This fucker wasn't that. He was. I suppose he was a big rat. It was in America. We were living in Boston.
Grey or red?
Red.
Okay.
But he'd a fucking tooth up in him. There was fucking oak trees all around us. But America, they're not big on fucking boundary walls. It's fucking chain link fence in every fucking place.
Okay.
And these fellas were having to scream along the fucking top of it. And I was off to fucking work. I was going getting their version of the Lewis.
Of course.
And tipping up the fucking road. And this squirrel leaps off a chain link fence about 12, 13 feet in front of me. I was thinking, no, you'd see him every day.
Not today, squirrel.
This fucker took one look at me and kind of turned his back at me. Thought, he's gone anyway, I'll just keep walking. Then he thought, you could see he fucking guessed again. He went, no.
This guy's got some nuts.
He turned around and spread himself out and like flared up his cheeks and started spitting at me.
This was a rabid squirrel, Tom.
This was a fucking rabid squirrel. He was a fucking asshole. But to be fair, I was not. I looked at him and thought,
not today, squirrel.
I wouldn't be
Fuck
fast
you,
enough to kick him in the face. If I did, that's it. It's curtains for him. I'd definitely win that fight. But can you imagine if he did go up my fucking leg and bite my ear or something? Or bite your balls or something.
Bite your bollocks off, yeah.
Like, fuck telling that story down the pub.
How would you explain that to the next message you laid in?
Fucking...
I gotta explain some things to you before I take my trousers off. Right, there's a squirrel. Yeah. No, I mean, like, that's what it is.
But that's what I saw, little dog fucking syndrome.
Little dog syndrome, just going like, fuck you,
a fucking badger wouldn't turn on me that way.
No, because a badger's got a bit of class, you know what I mean? He's a big animal. Like, I'll tell you, like, one of the friendliest animals I ever seen was a Great Dane. I don't know if he was as big as your uncle's dog with the fucking...
It'd be about the size of that, alright, yeah.
But he was in the back of a van, and he travelled everywhere with his carpenter that came into the shop.
Oh, what a practical dog to bring everywhere,
What a practical... Like, you know, the dog was massive, like, holy shit. I remember I opened the van to throw a load of sheets of plywood into it, and I opened the door, and this fucking dog jumps out, and Tommy's up to me chest, like, he's an absolute...
Was he a nice carpenter? Was this bloke a nice bloke?
Oh, yeah, he was absolutely fine.
Do you think there's a lot down to the person that gets a small dog is a bit of a cunt?
Well, we can absolutely go into that, but let me tell you this much: with this dog, he was massive. He was the friendliest dog I've ever seen in my life. He'd shake paws and all this kind of thing, all this kind of crack. But he did inflict on me the worst injury a dog has ever inflicted on me. As he was walking by me, he was wagging his tail back and forth.
He gave you the flick, did he?
He gave me the flick. Tom, and his
if there's any ladies listening, the flick is nearly worse than a full-on kick in the balls.
Full-on kick in the balls is nothing.
Because the flick is delayed, isn't it? There's 5 seconds.
It's so bad.
Like, oh.
And he just hit me right. I'll never forget it. He hit me like in the bottom quarter-inch of my bollocks.
So, as a rugby ball, Johnny Sexton would be meeting that bit of the ball as kicking it, and it kind of wow.
So if you can imagine yourself taking the top off an egg, but upside down. That's where he hit me, and it was like
that's specific.
Yeah, and it was like a Great Dane's tail is like a bit of 3/4-inch heavy gauge Hydrodare. Like it's just pure. Like,
you can hear
solid.
it. You can fucking hear it.
And he just whacked me right across the two ties and the bottom of my balls, and I went down like I was fucking shot and stayed there for quite some
a cow shot
time.
in a slaughterhouse yard.
I was just like, for God's sake, lads, kill me. Now, to answer your question, who has little dogs? Alright, it's mostly, as far as I can see, little dogs are like a fashion accessory.
Yeah, they are, yeah.
And that's all very well and good. But like, what I want to say is, what do you do with these dogs when they hit 14? Do you see many 14-year-old little dogs being carried around in handbags, Tom? What's happening to these dogs? Is there something dark that we don't know about?
Fuck, I didn't think about that.
Do you think, like, you know, every now and then a couple of these dogs are just sort of like made way for newer models?
Yeah.
I mean, probably not, but like, the theory's there, right?
But fuck me, like, I mean, because like, you're never gonna lose your mind when a fucking when a cat dies. You know, whether you like a cat or not, you're gonna go, yeah.
I feel that anybody that has cats, it's always cats plural rather than a cat. Like you'll always have a secondary cat.
They have one cat down at home, but I found him in actually a bag.
Right.
You know, they tried to drown him, but this fucker actually climbed out, so I actually brought it home as a kitten. And the cat is sound as a fuck. The cat got raised as a dog. The cat thinks it's a fucking dog.
All right.
I told you about this, didn't I?
Yeah, you didn't.
Yeah, the fucking. So that's the
cat dog. Yeah.
That's the only sound cat. Like the cat, just all it does is if it's indoors at all, it'll just meow at the door, and you go, oh, sound cat, and that's it. You won't see the cat for 24 hours. It'll sound fucking that way.
That's it. People.
But the cunty cat. Those are definitely like the little dogs you're talking about.
They're definitely like, I mean, like people.
If one of those little dogs die, how distraught would you be if it's a cunt of a dog? Because deep down you have to know it's a cunt of a dog.
You couldn't not know that your dog is a prick.
You have to know.
Right?
You have to know.
You couldn't go, I walk my dog and my
unless
dog
you're a giant cunt yourself. And that's where I think a lot of maybe the fucking small dogs, you know.
Are we gonna go on?
I know, yeah.
And just lay that out there.
Yeah,
I mean, like we'll take it back a little bit, but you know, you make a strong point, Tom. You make it very well as well.
Like they say it's not the fucking dog, it's the owner. But then I don't know. A lot of those fucking dogs are bred down pieces of shit anyway. They're never going to have proper right in the head. Like they're never going to have proper right in the head fucking mentality because they're just bred down from
this is it. This is what I was saying. Like a small dog is just a bad cat. Why don't you get yourself a good cat? Yeah. Oh, I want a little dog because I only live in a 1-bedroom apartment, so I just want a little dog that's not going to take up much space. No, pal, you want a fucking cat is what you want.
Yeah, that's dead right.
And I'll tell you what's better again for cats. You don't have to get a small cat. You can get literally the biggest fucking cat you can find, and it's still.
Do you know I know a woman that gave fucking $1,800 for a cat?
Well, that woman was a silly woman, Tom.
And she only got it. That was cheap. She only got it cheap because she signed an agreement to say she'd have him neutered.
Well, for fuck's sake.
So she couldn't make any more money. Yeah, it's one of those kind of beige coloured. You notice he was fucking shit anyway as a cat. He would do nothing but just lie around like a hot water bottle all
but
fucking
that's
day.
all you want. If you're living in a 1-bedroom apartment
suppose,
and you just want someone to lay on the sofa beside you while you watch Celebrity Come Dancing or whatever the fuck it'll be, then knock yourself out.
The only reason why there was ever a cat kept around at home was obviously to keep rats.
Keep rats out,
yeah.
I don't think there's going to be that many rats in a penthouse apartment in
I suppose
Bridge.
there wouldn't. Yeah, right enough.
I'd say the fucking rat problem there is minimum at best.
Most of them are going around on 2 legs as you, huh?
Hey, what? Look at that. So anyway, yeah, small dogs. Fuck them. Get a real dog or get a cat, or don't get a pet. You know, you obviously can't handle a dog.
Yeah, you can't handle it. Just get a fish.
Get a fish. Fuck off and don't annoy me.
Good, yeah, that was a good rant.
That was it.
It was valid.
Good to get I had that with me for a while, Tom.
We'll push on into the next one, Gerry.
Yeah, ball on into the next segment.
Yeah, we haven't gotten lost yet. We've actually.
No, I know exactly where we are.
Good.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, so we'll ball in. This and it's not a new. It's from last season.
It's from last season. Yeah, we like it. It stayed. People seem to like it.
Takes the edge off the sourness, doesn't it?
I mean, it's showing off our slightly softer sides because we don't just like give out about everything, Tom. Most things, but
yeah.
There are times where
there has to be times. I mean, you got to release the valve. You know what I mean? You got to release the valve.
But it's not to turn around and say, "Oh, well, I really love cars," or "I really love horse riding."
No, exactly.
It's things that you mightn't think we like. Which is why we call this segment.
You wouldn't know I like this.
You wouldn't know I like this. Tom, you take this one. What do you?
It's fuck it. Do you know something? There comes a time in your life where you just have to admit certain things. Like I've heard of blokes getting their eyebrows threaded and stuff like that. And, I mean, I wouldn't be one for all that kind of carry on. But something happened last year where I was getting a haircut.
Okay, Tom.
The haircut went fine.
Short back and side.
Short back and side. Went a bit longer than I expected. Now your man was clipping hair and everything. But he finished the whole thing with something I never had before, a head massage. Yeah. That's a head massage after a haircut.
And Tom, you're going to have to walk me through this like I'm a small child.
Okay, so I go into this barber's. He was a Turkish barber of sorts, or so he said he was anyway. Now, I didn't care whether he was Turkish or whether he was Leitrimmish. I needed a fucking haircut.
Before I go any further, Tom.
Yeah.
Like, Turkish barbers, is that a thing? Are they like...
They're a thing.
Very good. Are Turkish barbers, like,
I think the Turkish people, as a rule, have very strong hair growth. So they always pride themselves. I'm speculating. I think they're like Irish pubs abroad.
Is that what it is?
We probably don't drink even, you know, we're probably not in the top 5 these days as drinkers, but we do a good pub. I think Turkish fellas, maybe they're not the greatest barbers in the world, but they have
they've got a good
barber
agent,
shop.
yeah.
You know, they got a good agent.
Like, because honestly, you could turn around and go, like, a place could open up down the way from me and it'd be like, oh, fucking Scandinavian barber. And I'd be like, oh shit, they must be really good. But like, everywhere I see is Turkish barbers!
Yeah.
We got a Turkish guy!
I maybe they were the first people to ever cut hair or something. I don't know. Maybe we all had hair down to our asses up until these lads fucking landed on the scene.
Tweet us with the answer at Tom and Gerry Show.
That'd actually be
so
great.
Right, Tom, you're in here at a Turkish barber.
So I walk in, your man's like, hello my friend. I says, hello. He seemed cheery enough. So I was expecting, I'd never had a haircut over 7 minutes long.
Right.
Never needed to. I don't have that many hairs.
I always pride myself in being queuing longer for a haircut than I ever am sitting in the
I
chair.
wouldn't even get, I mean, if I get through the property section of the Sunday Independent or the Saturday Independent, then that's a long way.
That's a long ass wait. Like, honestly, like, if I walk past a barbershop and there's 3 ahead of me, I'm like, fuck this.
This is a swanky enough, this is a swanky enough joint now, in fairness. So he sits me down, what can I do for you, my friend? I says, just cut away, boss. Keep it out of my fucking eyes.
Yeah.
Tidy up what's already there. Grand job. He drives on anyway, he's clipping away. And I mean, he's making a big fucking deal about it now, but I figured, fuck it. This is the extra $5, so this is what we're fucking right. We'll do this dance. So he's clipping away, and he gets. Now the haircut works out grand, but something fucking that I now just, and I kind of like this too. I've fuzzy enough old ears, and it's only fuzzy enough they're getting. And if you see the ears of the Mahony men, you could bail fucking some of our ears. It's like we're like fucking hobbits basically. It's just hairy fucking ears that are in the family. Never had a problem with it. Out your man pulls out this big fucking cotton bud, long yoke, maybe about 4 inches long, dips it into some fucking, I don't know what the fuck. He dipped it into petrol or something anyway. Lit it up, so he's got a flaming ball on the end of a stick.
Okay.
And basically flicks it at my ears.
And?
Sizzled off all the fucking hair.
Singes your fucking ears. Did you ask him to do this?
No, I didn't know. This is all part of the package. My mouth was fucking open at this stage. I had no idea what was going on. I didn't quite have a meltdown, but at the same time, my ears were fucking freezing after it. I'd never not had hair on my fucking ears. So I left him drive on. Thought, that's it. So, Sergio, we're done here, are we?
Yeah.
No, we fucking weren't.
What did he do?
He kicks a fucking button onto the back of the chair anyway. Before I know it, I'm on the flat of my fucking back like I'm about to get a dental fucking examination.
Alright, Tom.
And I can just hear him slapping his hands together like he's putting some hair oil or some shit in his hands. And he started digging into the top of my head like he's trying to fucking look for spuds.
With scissors?
No, with his fingers.
Right. And what's he doing?
He's fucking massaging the shit out of my head. Like, and this wasn't like a sensual one where you're gonna go, hey, Jesus, back up. This was fucking like he was rooting for gold into the top of my fucking scalp. The good work he just done in fucking... It was phenomenal. It went on for about 5 minutes.
And was it nice?
It fucking was. I think this is the first time I've said this out loud. It fucking was. It was kind of like, I don't know, it was like a Chinese burn on your head.
Right, okay,
but then some pseudo shit in me kind of after about a minute or two went, hi, this is
not bad.
He reckoned it would make my hair grow thicker. But I says, you country, that's only because I'll be back to you faster, so... Just pure fucking shit. I think he's after pulling out half of it, I think the fucker.
Because I don't have any, experience of that kind of thing, Tom. And I will say now, I don't have the tufty ears, but I am starting to get the Martin Scorsese eyebrows, so I am...
Oh, sure, for fuck's sake. I found one the other day. I don't have particularly bushy eyebrows, but one skunk grew out of it the other day. It was like...
You ever get that? Do you ever get, like, fucking one weird hair growing out of your shoulder? Do you ever get that?
I found one growing out at the end of my nose the other day.
Just like growing, this is one hair is like, fuck you, I'm coming out.
Yeah.
Well, I had like, 20 of them in the eyebrows, but I still wouldn't like ask anyone to do anything about them, No. Anyway, look, the missus got me a voucher for a Turkish shave.
Oh, now you're in for some treat.
And I'm like, fair enough.
He'll slap the fucking head off you. Did you go for it?
I did, yeah. And I gotta be honest with you, Tom, I didn't like it.
I don't like the shave. I don't like the shave.
Because there was a lot of like what you were talking about there, like, oh, they did this and that and the other, and I, like, he was shaving me, Tom, for about half a fucking hour, right? Like, and like, leave no stone unturned, and he'd shave and he'd look at me, and then he'd lather me up again and shave another wee bit, and then he'd look back and he'd when he'd lather, and I think he was on his about 5th or 6th pass.
For fuck's sake.
And I had a mind to say to him, listen pal, whatever you missed, I'll fucking run by it with the Mach 3 when I get home, you know?
You can leave it on the headland.
Just leave it, for God's sake. So I wasn't wild about it, so but I will say to you, Tom, I did see this thing on TV one time. I'm not sure what the programme was. I think, don't quote me on this, I think it was, do you remember your man Baz Ashwami?
Yes.
Ashmawi. Sorry,
yes, the half Egyptian lad with the mother from fucking Back of Beyond.
The first show that he had was like a travelling show where he was travelling with 2 other lads.
How low can you go?
That's the one.
Yeah.
Now, I think it was in that show I seen it. It may not have been. It was probably in a similar show. Whatever it was.
Yeah.
But they went to a Turkish bath, I guess. Again,
I know.
The Turks have personal hygiene all wrapped up, it seems.
They
right?
do it, yeah. You haven't been to a Turkish bath, have you?
Is that the one where
they flake the fucking hole off?
It's like 3 or 4 lads just kind of gather up and kick the shit out of you.
Yeah.
With soap.
I went into it drunk, Gerry.
And
it was the most terrifying. I fell asleep twice. It was the most terrifying fucking thing in my life.
And tell me, did they just lather you up and then just pull and crack out of you?
No, that wasn't. I got a fucking massage off some beast of a woman who. It wasn't a massage. It was a physio. Basically, she was just a physio trying to beat the shit out of me. Went into this big room. There was a load of people all sitting around. It was the most fucking bizarre. Like if Liam Neeson came in and saved somebody in this moment, it wouldn't have made sense, or it would have made sense. So I'm sitting there anyway, and I'm still steaming, fucking drunk. Is
this in Turkey?
Yeah, it's as hot as balls, sweating like a fucking lunatic. Next thing, these fellas come around. I passed out. These fellas come around, and had obviously your average person had seen what's happening next. I hadn't. I woke up to this fucker with cheese graters for gloves, and another fucker with 2 big fucking Sally branches. The man scraping every fucking bit of me with these 2 cheese graters, and the other fella just flakes me with these 2 fucking branches. And then we're all fucked out of a room into a fucking 4 foot deep ice bath. I'm still drunk, mind, with about 15 pints beside me. It was the most terrible, terrible time of my life. So to say, this thing in contrast, the head massage.
Yeah, because I looked at that and I thought, because I looked at Baz or whoever it was, and it was like that, although it looked to me like he was getting lathered up and then pulled in different directions and kneed in the back.
Well, it must have been a different part of Turkey or something. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't even a Turkish bath I went into. Maybe it was just... But the head massage, I will say, it was... I've had the shave thing before and they start rubbing your fucking face. But your man did fuck it all up. He ruined the good vibe of the thing because he sat me up and started doing this weird fucking choppy massage thing on the back of my neck. And he started trying to crack all my fingers and everything. I just got cranky with him, pulled my hand away and...
Fuck off and don't annoy me.
Yeah, he didn't get a tip.
Where are we on the short back and sides, pal? And also, what's so special about a Turkish barber?
I don't think he was fucking Turkish, to be honest with you.
Not going by the accent, he wasn't anyway, Tom.
Oh. He sounded very Tipperary for some reason, yeah.
But anyway, okay, Tom, I did not know you liked that. Head massages.
I don't know.
I know what to get you now for Christmas.
Yeah.
Give you a voucher for a head massage.
Yeah.
Here. Massage Tom's head from...
But that's as far as I'll go. I've heard of lads having manicures and stuff like that. I know.
Oh yeah, till the next time.
I think I'd have a fucking meltdown.
Alright. Fucking rocking and rolling into the final segment of the show, Tom. It is brand spanking new.
Oh yeah, I like this bit.
I like this bit, because we didn't just arrive fully formed. I mean, I know we come across like we weren't born, we were fucking quarried.
Yeah.
Not the case.
No?
We grew up.
We were young one time.
Every now and then we look back at that times, and it's in a segment called When We Were Garsons. Or
you love saying that word, garsons.
As you say yourself, Tom?
Garsoons.
Garsoons. Do you know what else we have as well, Tom? Gashes.
What?
Gashes. Have you any gashes up your way? A gasha meaning a girl. Garsons and gashes.
Right, I thought you were saying geisha.
Well, here's the thing, Tom. That has to be fucking derived from geisha, doesn't it?
Fuck off. There was no fucking Japanese women or Japanese samurai fucking people invaded Monaghan one time.
Yeah, but as many fucking French boys did.
Oh, yeah.
Garçons and geishas. Has to be from garçons and geishas. Simply must be, right?
What a polite fucking child that would be.
Oh, yes, indeed. I've got one
well-rounded human.
One geisha. Any rate, Garsons, when I was a Garson, I'm going to tell you a thing about when I was a Garson, Tom.
Growing up in County Monaghan. Are you North County Monaghan or South County Monaghan? The south side.
Side, yeah, the proper order. You wouldn't want to trust them Northern Monaghan yours.
Fuck it, yeah. I met a fellow with one eye one time. Fucking, he kept on giving me putchie. He kept on giving me putchie. He kept on giving me putchie. But anyway,
well, I'm not saying we're not sociable, like, you know. Yeah. This comes into a little bit giving out yardsy a bit, so I'm sorry if the two wires cross over a bit. But it's a thing I remember fondly from when I was small that has been tried to be sort of co-opted, I guess, or replicated in recent times, and it doesn't work. Sweet shops.
Oh, for the love of it, yeah.
Do you know what I'm going to tell you, Tom?
Yeah, I know what you're going to tell me.
The sweet shops...
I thought you were going to say about football special.
No. We still haven't... Where are we on the football special? I'll get you a bottle of football
I saw somebody put up a picture of it online the other day. I was like, remember I tagged you? I was like, what the fuck? This is actually real. I know. It's not that I didn't believe you. It was just like, Jesus Christ, this is like Jesus Christ. It's like, well, the book was good. Now he's here. You know?
But like, what was I going to say? Sweet shops from now is number one, you see a lot of these ye olde sweet shops around the place, right?
Yeah.
You know the type I'm talking about. And the put forward that this is an old world sweet shop and this is a sweet shop you would have went to.
No, yeah, if we were, in fucking...
If we lived in Willy Wonka land.
Yeah, or 1890.
Yes. Do you fucking think in Monaghan, Tom, any business lived and died on the sweets it sold to children?
Yeah. For fuck's sake.
It's wall-to-wall sweets for kids.
Yeah.
No, it's fucking not. You had, like, this much, a little quadrant of the shop was sweets, and the rest was, like, a white fridge with ice creams in it, bread, bachelor's peas, the Northern Standard, firelighters,
Calor gas bottles outside.
And that was it, alright? So if you see these ye olde sweet shops in Dublin or anywhere abouts, and they're purporting to be old sweet shops, if they don't have a tank of Calor gas out the front,
they are not the real deal.
They are not the real deal.
There was our local sweet shop. When I say local, it was 2.5 miles away, and you'd cycle up to it. And they had an all right. They must have got the fucking glass counter from somewhere fucking else. But the ham was in with the sweets, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I forgot. Yeah, they had a ham slicing machine.
Yeah, it is. You could get the usual. Actually, there was another one up in the village. Banch is the name of the village, and it's about 5 miles away. And after mass on a Saturday night, the parents will give you a couple of quid or whatever, and you'll go across to the one sweet shop that was there. But he was the most incredible shop, right? This shop wouldn't have had the floor space of a fucking high-ace van.
Right.
But he managed to squeeze in a video shop. He was a chipper.
Yes.
He made pizzas.
Right.
He was a newsagent, obviously fags and the whole lot. And he was a kind of a butcher, because he'd have puddings and stuff like that. And he was not a bad sweet shop. But the only problem was, you get the postman pats, you get the fucking usual
the
stuff.
Blackjacks,
the blackjacks, the
fruit salads.
And you get your... It didn't matter what you got. If your wrapper was in any way porous, it was fucked. Because like I said, he was also a chipper. Right. Everything tasted like fucking oil. It was
well, that's it. And it didn't matter. It's. I'll tell you another thing as well. Ye olde sweet shops that you see these days. Ye olde sweet shops. If they don't have crisps that are being sold out of the box of crisps. Just you cut a hole in the box of crisps. And you just dig your hand in and get it out. That's what you want. But the hygiene levels, it just was a thing that wasn't questioned. We used to go and get again. It was very rare that we'd be just handed money and say, hey, do you know what? You've been a good child today. Yeah. You've been doing some good playing. Why don't you go get yourself some fucking sweets? Yeah. It'd be more like the mother was going in for a quarter pound of ham and a sliced pan. Yeah. And
you'd get a Clippo bar.
And I might get a Clippo bar, yeah. Yeah. Or I would want chewing gums. For some reason I went through a stage when I was wee that all I wanted to do was chewing gums.
Was it chewing gums or Hubba Bubbas?
It wasn't Hubba Bubba Toms, it was like Rain Blow. and golf balls.
Do you remember? Yeah, Rain Blow and golf ball. But do you remember them fucking horrible chewing gums came out one time? It was like an uproar around the country that how dare they bring these American fucking cinnamon flavoured Big Reds.
Oh yeah, shit yeah.
There was an uproar. It was like, what was wrong? With our other fake sugar.
Do you remember PK chewing gums? You'd only get like 4 of them in a little pack.
Yeah.
A little tiny thing.
They were like a little pillow.
Little pillows, and you'd only get 4 or 5 of them.
They were PK as well, but if you broke them open, they were actually brown on the inside.
Oh, they were like a licorice sort
of thing?
Yeah,
they were licorice one. Yeah, they were fucking stink. Or Fisherman's Friends.
Or indeed.
Why is there no Fisherman's Friends in a fucking whatchamacallit? What was the use of Fisherman's Friend? Would they actually warm you up?
Fuck no.
They fucking stink.
Give you the notion that you weren't.
What they would do
when
when you were like, when I was 16, 17, you'd have a drink. They were mighty for clearing the fucking breath. Yeah. So
would they get by the mother test?
Oh, they wouldn't get. They'd give you enough false hope anyway that you could leg it up the stairs and there wouldn't be a wave of fucking beer left behind.
Yeah, we have a stink behind you. Here's what it was: you get like your 10-penny sweets, or you get your 10-penny chewing-gums, whatever there'll be, 10-penny jellies, whatever there'll be. The whole box of sweets would be slapped out on the counter.
Yes.
And like 10 would be flicked in
across.
your direction.
Yeah.
Across. And you just picked them up in your sweaty hands and thank you very much and bye-bye and here's 10p and on you go about your business.
Was there ever an option to buy a single fag?
Oh, yeah.
Was there?
Well, there was 10 fags. Remember 10 fags?
Yeah, I remember 10 fags, but there was one shop in Tipperary town that, and he was closed by the time I think I was in second year or whatever, so I wasn't smoking. But I remember he was right, but it wasn't it was like somebody had cut a doorway into a fucking boundary wall.
Yeah!
This wasn't, it had, like, all you could see was a 10-foot high wall on a street in between houses. And it was like the guy had just bolted on a shed onto the fucking other side of the wall and just cut a fucking doorway into it.
I love him.
But he put a split fucking stable-style door in it. So on Sunday mornings, after Mass, he'd open the hatch and he'd sell a couple of newspapers, but his big thing was selling single fags.
And then you could buy...
This would have been...
Can I have 7 cigarettes,
This
please?
would have been 93, 94. So it's not that, you know what I mean? It's not,
yeah, it's in living memory.
like, it wasn't with fucking, it wasn't being bought with farthings, like, you know what I mean?
Do you know, while you have me on the subject, Tom, they used to pull up a guy outside Mass in Enniskeen and he'd sell papers out of the boot of the car.
Oh.
Like, he'd sell the Independent and the News of the World and everything.
Well,
and the Sunday World.
Our sacristan down in the small church where I used to go, I was telling you about going down to half 8 Mass, the sacristan used to sell, I don't know, was it on behalf of the church that she'd get something? She used to sell, and I used to have to do it after Mass. She'd start the fucking game, I'd get off the vestments, then I'd take over for her and I'd have to sell the newspapers out of the kind of back sacristy fucking bit.
Yeah, that could be the same thing.
Yeah.
But anyway...
He sold it out of the boot of his car.
Yeah.
You won't find that in fucking Mr. Sims.
No, and I'll tell you what it is for sweet shops. Like, you know, the sweet shops that I went to when I was small, as you know, like one factor that we have here, Tom, is that the sweet shops was run by old people, alright?
Yeah.
And like a lot of the
Who
shops...
didn't particularly like children.
No, and am I right in saying a lot of the times the shop was attached to a house?
What do you mean, a lot of the time?
Like all the time.
All of the time.
And like you'd be in the shop listening through to them watching Home and Away, and they'd come walking through the doors and say, fucking hell. Like...
I'd tell you a good one about a family living with the shop and the pub and the whole fucking lot. Did you ever see the videos? It was a video that did this rounds back when videos were actually videos in like the 90s of this guy commentating on a Gaelic football match, cursing and fucking blinding.
Okay, right.
F and Eddie was his name.
Okay.
This thing went to the States and everything. There was bars apparently like back in the early 90s. They used to have it out in the chalkboard going, F and Eddie match being played tonight between fucking 9 and fucking 10:30 because it was that entertaining. This guy was pre-Dunbelievables, like, but it was you have to anybody. I'll put up the link on
Please do.
On the Twitter. You will lose your fucking mind that this is a real thing.
And this was one of your guys.
This guy basically, he was my school principal's brother, right?
Right.
This guy comes on. He's hanging from the night before. He buried his father-in-law, right? This match is played out between two teams, Aherlow and Éire Nina. It's one of the worst games of football you'll ever see. It's piss and rain. But this guy, they'd never done this before. Somebody was videoing it. Terrible fucking footage. But he's got the microphone linked to the camera and he has no clue about how to be a commentator. He has no decorum. He's just voicing his opinion. And then every so often he switches back in. So it's like, for fuck's sake, ref! And that ball is kicked out to Mikey Ryan there. Mikey Ryan kicks it up to... Jesus Christ, lads! And he's just... And in the middle, like, there's this iconic bit where he just goes, How you Joe? He starts talking to a bloke that's walking by. And the game is still going on. And next thing, this guy Joe passes him a big bottle of TK Red Lemonade, right?
I love it.
He's fucking commentating on the match. He takes a big swig of it and goes, Jeez, we put him down well last night. I murdered from the beer. And then burps into the microphone while doing it, right? So this guy becomes a bit of a local celebrity. He's still fucking revered as being a fucking the guy's ego shot through the fucking roof. He doesn't see the irony of the fact that people go, you're a bit of a mental patient.
Bastard, yeah.
You're a mad bastard. But he just thinks, I'm Kevin Costner, basically.
Right.
So, but his family in Lisvernane, which would be the village of the Aherlow, the Galtee Mountains, his family own the funeral home, the pub, and the shop. The shop doubles as a petrol station, as a pump or two outside, right?
Of course it does.
Now, when the woman would be working... Now, you might go over for a pound of ham, but some fella might be getting a gallon of fucking petrol outside. So, Eddie's sister or wife would go out, and she'd fill the gallon of petrol. And they had an old dirty bucket down beside the sink. And you go, do you know what? I'll have a half pound of ham, and I'll give you €2 worth of those cola cubes. So she'll flake the fuck... Now, never really washing the hands. Everything's going to have diesel flavoured. But on one of the nights that they were doing a show on the Mahonys and how they owned fucking this empire, right? It was on Tipperary Midwest Radio, the greatest terrible radio in the world. And I was driving home to Tip, right? And the brother rang me. He says, "Please say you're..." I was driving Cork. He was already home. He says, "Please tell me you're within range. Get on the fucking radio right now." Every Friday night they have this section called Down Your Way.
Okay.
Where this roving reporter, much like Henry McKean on News Talk, will go around the house, around the bar and talk to all the locals and everything, or go around the business and talk to or go around the thing. This was around the empire of the Mahonys. His father was sitting. He followed him into the shop. He'd served a couple of those little chocolate duds. You know those little yolks for 10 pence each?
I know the ones, yeah.
Served a couple of them. Your man's chatting away, the interviewer back and forth. He's going, "Well, sure, we do our best around here." And he's wandering in and he's chatting, "How's your Mikey?" So he walks back into the house. His father, at the time, the poor man was catatonic. He was sitting in the corner. He had a huge stroke. And this is like 5 o'clock in the evening. And his sister must have walked in. Another woman in her 60s walked in. And there's all family back and forth. And she's cutting up like a head of cabbage or something at the fuck it. And this is in the kitchen bit. And now customers can hear it. The radio can hear it. He turns and goes, "Jesus Christ, Bridie. After shitting all over himself again. For the love and honour of fuck. And you're cutting fucking cabbages." This is live on radio. "You're cutting cabbages. That man is sitting in his own scour for the last... I don't know how... I smelt him outside." Okay. And you're like... This is... And he's going to go back in and serve some milky teeth to somebody, after cleaning that man up. Do you know what I mean? That's what you're fucking... That's what you should be getting.
But that's who we got in sweet shops.
I don't want staff pulling down a shutter.
No.
I want them saying goodnight, closing the door, and you can still hear the telly. There's still...
Yeah. You can smell the...
I had to buy
they quit cutting your ham because I have to go in and turn the kettle off.
I had to buy an Iron Zone for, I don't know, there was some 1916 one. I was down home a couple of weeks ago, and there's a shop, and they live in the back of the shop or whatever. And I was kind of knocking on the counter going, "Come on to fuck, I've got to go." And your man was looking out at me going, "Would you ever fucking hold on?" The lotto, he knew me from years ago. He was eating his dinner. He was having bacon and cabbage through the fucking...
Yeah.
The back of the...
Yeah.
He said, "The fucking lotto." I said, "You can get it online." What? He's a man in his 60s, obviously. I shouldn't have said that.
He couldn't get nothing online, Tom.
Do you know what's amazing? He owns a shop that sells the fucking lotto. He can check it himself. He was watching the lotto in the back. And I was fuck me until he was ready. 3 minutes later, he came out and served me. But do you know what? It was all part of an experience, you know?
Do you know who didn't serve you in a shop in the 80s, Tom? In a proper old sweet shop from when we were gassins? Some fucking 16-year-old doll with a face tattoo and a nose ring.
Oh, fucking Jesus.
And half her hair shaved.
Yeah.
With a fucking hump on her that you're there asking her, does she have no cola cubes?
Do they still sell the licorice pipes?
Yeah.
Do they?
Well, they sell like licorice cables.
No, do you remember the pipes? They looked like a pipe and that little fucking...
Oh, fuck no,
the
Tom.
little
Christ, no.
speckly things.
No,
Christ, they were probably outlawed, were they?
Outlawed. Like the candy
the
cigarettes.
The chocolate fags, yeah.
The candy cigarettes are now candy sticks.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Let a kid pretend to smoke a fag. What's the worst that can happen?
He could start smoking real ones, I suppose.
Yeah, but look at the fucking benefit of the taxes on it. I mean, there's huge taxes. Plus, it's got, massive. 50% of a packet of fags is a $5 for a pack. Every time somebody smokes a packet of fags, a $5 goes into the fucking coffers.
Keeps the wheels turning.
Every time one drops dead, it's just another lane on the fucking M50 opening up, isn't it? So where did we go with sweets here, Jerry?
So sweets,
that turned into giving out yards, is what that did.
Well, I told you coming into it now, it was a bit of a giving out yards. I mean, it's a thing that I remember fondly. I'll tell you, Tom, if you want, and anybody in the Dublin area, if you want, what appears to me, and I haven't gone into it, but from the outside, appears to me to be as near to a proper old sweet shop
Yeah.
Not one of these Mr. Sims fucking things.
Yeah.
With, where you go in and you pay €6 for a bag of.
You know they're all
emeralds.
owned by an English conglomerate anyway. You know that, like.
No, surely. There's one shop, as far as I can see in Dublin, that really does look like it hasn't changed a bit in about 30 years, and it's down Sheriff Street area. So.
Oh.
Yeah, it's, you know.
You really want some fucking cola cubes.
You really want some fucking cola cubes. But it's called like K&A stores.
I fucking know it.
One? And it's got like a proper old plastic Coca-Cola sign outside
Because there's a
it.
shite one in what is off the South Circular Road. It's, you know, it'd be near the hospital, kind of James's. There's one there too, and they boxes a parcel in the window.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It looks like you could go in and buy toilet roll, firelighters,
a packet of quarter pounders.
a packet of quarter pounders, and that's it. And you're gone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a place you get some golf balls in there, alright.
It looks like a proper order, old school, taste of the past sweet shop.
But when you look around them old Mr. Sims too, it's a whole pile of old fucking nothing. Like, they're all the same thing. Do you know what I mean? They gussy the place up. They've got this fucking asshole behind the counter who doesn't... Well, I mean, not that you ever went in there for somebody's fucking personality either, but it was...
Have you got anything in a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 style bar? Well, we've got these over here.
Rider Rovers.
Yeah, we've got it right. Have you got any vintage Dan bars is what I'm looking for here. If you don't have a Dan bar, what can you point me for?
Wappas. They don't fucking make Wappas anymore.
Don't do Wappas.
Wappas is not...
Don't start me on this. Oh, it's old stool. It's old sweets. All the old sweets. All your old favourites. No, it's fucking
Try
not.
getting fucking milky
Your
teeth.
don't even have a fucking wham bar.
Try getting milky teeth. You can't get them proper milky teeth, like the proper dusty shit all over them. You can't get them anywhere.
Or like, remember there was like a bigger version of the milky tea. It was like a milky dolphin.
Yes, yeah.
It was
What was that
equally,
made of?
It was equally chewy, but like you could snap it.
What was it made of?
I don't fucking know.
You could snap it. You knew if you could snap it, it had either gone... I don't know if
It's a little bit...
Were they fresh as fuck when you could snap it, or were they fucked when they were...
I don't know. I mean, you could still eat it.
Tweet us in if you know anything about these sweets.
Flipper dolphins, I think they were called.
Flippers?
Yeah.
That's it.
20p in a world of penny sweets. 20p was a lot for one
Did
sweet.
he gold 20p with the horse on it? Yeah.
Little horsey guy. You could get 20 ordinary sweets or you could get one flipper. That was a big decision to make, but they were nice. I don't know.
Had you a favourite sweet when you did go into these cranky places?
Cola cubes, probably, yeah. Cola cubes. Cola flavoured things. Cola flavoured Wappas. Yeah, that was
The only problem with the cola cubes is that if nobody had them in a while and they'd been sitting in the window, she had to give them a good flake off the fucking counter to get them going again.
Yeah, to get them going again. That
It
was
was
it. They were all one.
It was just
You
one
smack
big
it on the
fucking cola cube. No, it's just one big crystallised quartz lump of quartz, basically a red lump of quartz.
Yeah.
It was just fucking it was.
You see, she couldn't break off enough to make a proper quarter pound of it. So like one of us is gonna.
Yeah, they were never weighed out. Were they ever weighed out?
Roughly, Tom.
You would have kind of thrown me a fist. I remember all right of fucking sweets. There was no. Yeah, I don't think they had. I mean, acid drops. They were another fucking thing. The grandmother loved them, and of course I'd get a few of them when I was heading back to her fucking place, whatever. I'm not sure they were legal in the way they would turn your head inside out.
I mean, we're back in the 80s of the horrors, numbers and all that. I will say this now, going in, like all the people that I went into, I have fond memories of going into these shops, and all the people that ran them were absolutely sterling people. And I loved going into them. I have very fond memories of them. But just when I walk into a Mr. Sims and some fucker behind the thing is charging me €12 for a quarter pound of everybody's mixture, which just really fucking brings my piss to a simmer, Tom. And on that note,
So that was you as a child.
that was it. That was when I was a gassin. That's it. We're going to tip on now.
Yeah, we'll tip on.
You can catch us on Twitter, of course. You can follow me at Gerry McBride.
Of course, I'm at Tom O'Mahony.
_O'Mahony.
O'Mahony.
Yeah,
You'll
Tom.
find me anyway.
You'll get him there.
I'll be the fella just behind Jerry.
And
if you just find Jerry, the chances are Tom's
Tom's
fucking
will just kind of come up in the suggested friends. And also you can get the show itself at Tom and Gerry Show.
Why not share it? Yeah, hey. And you know what? Share it around. You know, why not? If you're in work, sitting in your fucking cubicle and you're just fucking wanting to punch the world in the face, vent through us.
Yes, and
you'll get it. Yeah,
go through all the old episodes as well, I guess.
Yeah, why not? Rattle that. They're all there. We're going to get an app.
Are we?
Yeah, we're going to get an app.
They're kind of dear, Tom.
No. This one won't cost a cent.
Okay, we're getting an app, folks.
Yeah.
Other than that, thank you very much for listening, and we'll be back next week with another episode of the Tom and Jerry Show.
We'll see you later.
Good luck.